Hello everyone, welcome to today's training. Today our topic is about our new product LX6C, high perform medium size controller. This PLC is based on CODESYS platform. And here we could see the appearance of the PLC. It is same with LX6C, has same size and the same interface. And I will introduce this new PLC through these 6 points: program execution module, communication protocol, motion control, project development, and operation maintenance. First is program execution. LX6C equipment with 4-core 1.8G CPU, which could improve the execution speed a lot. And for basic instruction, the execution speed is NS level. For single instructions, it's about 5 nanoseconds. Compared with traditional PLC, LX6C have already increased it by 50 times execution speed. With CODESYS platform, user could use efficient multitasking systems to process the program. User can set the execution mode, frequency, and priority of different tasks to get a better usage of system resources. Here are some execution modes, for example, cycling, freewheeling, and events. And also there are some execution modes such as status and interrupts. You could check it in CODESYS platform in details. Next part is expansion module. Our module are used branch structs. This is same with 6V. User can insert and pull out the module directly. Because our module is narrow, so it is easy to install and can save a lot of space. For now, we have local I/O module, and our R&D have already planned to develop remote I/O, analog module, temporal module. Here I want to say all 6V module could used in 6C directly, and the connection numbers are max to 32. Communication protocol. LX6C stands with GBE Ethernet, and it supports multi-protocol links such as Modbus, Ethernet IP, EtherCAT, and OPC UA. From these pictures, we could see many different devices connect to LX6C with different protocol. And here, for OPC UA and Ethernet IP, these two protocols is only support in LX6C, and our LX6V series don't support these two protocols. For the details of these parameters, I will introduce them in last. Now look at motion control parts. Our 6C have rich and powerful motion control functions. For example, single axis motion control, homing mode, and speed control will support CSV, PV. Position control will support CSP, PP, and for torque control will support CST and PT. Multi-axis motion control. User could use EG and ECAM to realize speed sync control and position sync control. And also we support multi-axis interruption, robot control, and CNC control. For robot control, we have 25 built-in motion model, and for CNC, we support standard G-code. And last, for application function, we support such as rotary cutting and torch probe. And here are some functions about motion curve. Buffer modes. We could set different buffer mode for different instructions to get a smooth motion. For example, in this case, we set the buffer mode of second instruction as MC breathing next. So when the first function running, if we execute the second function block, we could see the speed of the current motion will change to the speed of the next motion. So when first motion finished, we could start the second motion directly to get a smooth curve. And there are no waiting time before these two instructions. Next are movement superposition. We could use this function to compensate for the error between mechanical vibration and axis. And for last, we could also set different curve type of acceleration part and deceleration part to get a smooth and stable motion. Next part is project development. Because our LX6C are based on CODESYS platform, so of course we support STFBD, CFC, LD, and so on. It is followed the PLC Open 2.0 standard. We know in 3V, 5V, and 6V, we only have LD, program language, so with 6C, you could choose the programming language you favored. And with CODESYS platform, we could easy to debug our program. When first log in our PLC device, we could set a password for it to protect the hardware, and also we could set a password for project to protect it. But for these PLC passwords, please remember it, because if you forget it, you need to send it back to factory to reset the passwords. It will be troubling. And the last is operation and maintenance. With our VNet systems, you could pass route our HMI, IG series HMI or VBox, and to assess the LAN of the LX6C, to upload, download, and debugging the program. Also to update the firmware of PLC. So with these functions, you could debug at home and save a lot of time and labor cost. Now let's check the details, parameters of LX6C. First part is program space. 6C has 50 MB program capacity and 10 MB library capacity. For input area and the output area, it is 128 KB. For internal area, it is 512 KB. Here are some information about RS485 communication. 6C have 2 COM ports, and the baud rate are max to 115,200. For the connection number of slaves, it is 31. Next is Ethernet port. Here we suggest the client to use stand-in industry Ethernet communication cable to get a stable communication. With Ethernet ports, we could upload, download, and debug the program, and also upgrade the firmware. Here, both TCP connect, Modbus TCP, and sockets are maxed to 128. For Ethernet IP protocol, the connections number of slave and client are both maxed to 128. This part, motion control. Our LX6C are based on PLC Open Motion Control 2.0. And for servo axis, we could connect max to 128 axes. If we only connect 8 axes, the sync cycle could be achieved 500 microseconds. For encoder axis and expansion module, the connection limit is 32. And now look at Ethercat communication. And for this part, we also suggest client to use standard Ethercat communication cable. Here, for the connect number limits, it is 256. It's not only Ethercat axis, also have, for example, Ethercat I/O module. But for Ethercat servo axis, the limit is 128. For example, you could connect 100 servo axis and 100 I/O module. And for the communication cycle, the minimum value is 125 microseconds. Usually, if you only connect 2 or 3 axes, you could achieve this speed. And for USB, the function it is Type-C interface. We could use it to upload, download the program, and also we could use it to set IP and set an RTC. Here last have some execution speed of different instructions type. For offline simulation, CODESYS platform have built-in offline simulation functions, so you could use it directly. Now let's check our CODESYS software. You could download this CODESYS software and our LX6C CODESYS library file in our Wiki support center, PLC LX6. And click download software. You will find it here. Before using, you need to install our 6C library. Click Tool, Device, and here install. Select our XML file of our LX6C. Here I have already imported it. So we could find it here in PLC, Soft Motion PLC, here. For language setting, you could set it in Tools, Options, and here have international settings. You could set language here. After setting, you need to restart the software to take its effect. Now let's build a project. Here, select standard project. Device, we choose this one, and above are CODESYS internal device. If you want to try a simulation, you could select this one. Offline simulation. And here are some languages, program languages we could select. First, we need to connect our PLC. Double-click device and scan network. Here we could find our PLC. LX6C default IP is 192.168.8.8. And here we need a password to log in our PLC. When you first access this PLC, you can set the password, or you can also skip the password setting. But if you set a password, please remember it, because if you forget it, you need to the PLC needs to be sent to factory to reset. Now let's log in. Okay, active. And here, this is programming area. You could make your project here with the programming language you select. This M0 and the Y0 are variable, bool type. If we want to map them to our local I/O point, we need to here add device and select this local bus master. In local bus master, add our host, this one, and here we double click. We could set the I/O mapping here. We could map it to our library. And after finishing our project, we could log in to download it to PLC and in debug to run the program. For example, here we could set the prepared value and click debug white arrow. We could see M0 is closed and Y0 is output. There are many videos or lessons on net to teach about how to use CODESYS platform. So here I won't spend a lot of time to introduce it. And that's all today's training. Thank you for your watching.